In this video, we'll look a bit more in depth into using your custom watermarking presets. The three main things we'll be covering are working with unusual aspect ratios, working with transformations, and the deleted brushstroke issue. Let's head over to Lightroom. So, because we're limited to a set number of aspect ratios for our application of the watermarking presets, when we're working with unusual aspect ratios, we do need to do a little bit of cropping before placing the logo. Then we can go ahead and reapply the original crop. Let's look at this panoramic image here with quite a wide aspect ratio. Actually, it's about a 5:2 aspect ratio, but we don't have that option available in the WM folders. So here's what you can do to easily work around this. First of all, we're going to copy the current crop to the clipboard. To do this, hit Command-C on Mac or Control-C on PC, and you can also click Edit and Copy, and this window will open, which you're probably familiar with. Next, we're going to check None, and then reselect Crop and Process Version, and then hit Copy. This copies the current crop to the clipboard. Next, we're going to apply a new crop to the image which agrees with the closest option we have available in the watermarking presets. For this image, I'll choose a 2:1 panoramic aspect ratio. So that's done through this option here, and I've got a 2:1 crop available here, and I'm just going to apply that crop. We can then choose the correct watermarking preset and place it where we wish. Finally, we'll apply the original crop by the keyboard shortcut Command-V on Mac or Control-V on PC, or you can also select Edit and Paste. And there we have the original crop back on the image. And that's how we deal with non-standard aspect ratios. It is a bit of a workaround, but once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes second nature. It is worth noting that if you often use a particular aspect ratio that we didn't supply with your set of presets, you can submit a request for additional aspect ratios via the feedback process. Just check your welcome email for details. Let's look at an image which has transformations applied. If we look in this section in the Develop module, we can see that vertical and aspect transformations have been applied to straighten the building verticals, and we can see that better if we show the crop view. Heavy transformations like this pose a bit of an issue for the watermarking presets, which we can see if I place a watermark in each corner of the image. As you can see, the watermark is being stretched and distorted in accordance with the transformations which have been applied, which isn't really what we want here. So what we need to do is to create a copy of the image which doesn't have these transformations applied. To do this, we are going to use an export preset that we installed earlier. So if you choose File and Export, you'll notice that there is a folder called Lr Watermark. There are two export presets here, one called JPEG, one called TIFF. You can choose whichever, but I'll choose JPEG and click Export. And if we go to the library module, you'll notice that underneath the working folder, there is now a folder called WM for watermarking, which contains the version of the image that we can now place a watermark on without any issues, like so. If you use brush edits in Lightroom, then you will notice that when you place your watermark, the existing brushstrokes disappear. This is a quirk of Lightroom that unfortunately we can't stop from happening. I'll show you what I mean by painting a brushstroke on this image. And it's a pretty horrible brushstroke at that. But you'll notice that when I place the watermark, the brushstroke disappears. And this is going to happen whenever you use brush adjustments on an edit. The solution to this is the same as the last one for transformation. We're going to export a copy of the image And to do this, we're going to use the same export preset that we used earlier. So I'll do that now. And in the WM folder, we can see there's a version of the image that we can now place our watermark on. We hope that in future Adobe will change the behavior of Lightroom, but until then, that's how we solve the deleted brushstroke issue. So that completes this video. I hope you found it useful and that you begin to enjoy using your custom watermarking presets.